Hello, welcome to the Pain Reconsidered video series. This series is 3 videos long. I want to give a basis of how we can reconsider what's going on with our persistent pain. Now, one of the things, first video, what we want to reconsider is pain itself. Now, we come from this old view of pain. The old view of pain is that pain is there because of tissue damage. The more pain we have, likely more tissue damage we have. The pain is unchangeable and there's nothing we can do. We have to manage it. One of the things that we work on in the full 3-month program, Building Your Path Back to Wellness, is how we can look at the language around our pain. And just to give a little intro in this, you can hear the difference between what we have as the old view of pain with pain management and what we're going to learn a little bit more about the new view of pain and how it's changeable, how it isn't this structure of tissue damage that's only getting worse. Or for some of you, you may have had all the scans and they haven't been able to find anything. So when we look at pain, we need to reconsider how we come from this societal view of the old view of pain, where it's unchangeable, it means there's tissue damage, into the new view of pain. And there's been a lot of research done in the last few decades, particularly in the last 2 decades, where we're looking at pain in a different way. And when we get into the 3-month program itself, what we do is we start looking at the bigger picture of our pain. We've got the idea. Pain is structural. We know that. That's our old view of pain. And there may be something structural. But when we add in the complexity of how pain functions in our body, usually as a protective system, it's become overprotective. And when it becomes overprotective, we now lose our ability for that healing process. So we have to find this gray area in the middle. And when you live with pain, there's this idea that we want the black and white fix. And I completely understand that. We want to see the scan. We want to see what's going on in our body. Yes, it's a good idea some of the time to look for those red flags because sometimes there are things. But when we're living with persistent pain, there's a change that happens in our nervous system. And this change is not only physical, but it's sensory. And it becomes that overprotective sense. So when we're looking at how pain is there to protect us, we've now got a nervous system that has become overprotective. And I always like using the example of that. There was a mom, when I had my kids at the playground one day, there was a mom who was like, "Don't run in the playground." That overprotective kind of position where we're in a playground, most kids run, where your nervous system is now looking at different things saying, is this dangerous? This seems dangerous. I bet this is dangerous. I'm going to send signals because I need to keep my person away from this because it's dangerous. Now, it might be dangerous in the sense that it's an overloading stress. It's a conflicting relationship. It's an overloaded schedule. It's an overloaded work schedule, whatever that is, that isn't great for us, but it's not tissue damaging. So what we do within the 3-month program is we start looking at these in little bits and we take small steps. Just like these videos are meant to be small steps for you. They're 15 minutes each so that it's easy to watch. You learn a little bit. We incorporate a little bit of that into an experience, and then we continue on with our life. Now, as we do that, one of the things that's going to help you the most is to do the work. And I know that's hard because when we live with persistent pain, we already have this mental load of trying to manage the sensations in our body, that heavy, exhausting feeling of trying to move and get things done and have relationships with our friends and our family. And it's really hard to think of taking on another thing. I want this to be in small steps so that you can give it that attention 10, 15 minutes a day, maybe even 2 minutes a day, so that you can do the practice, because this does take work on your part. The old view of pain gives us this idea that if we find the right physiotherapist, the right massage therapist, the right chiropractor, the right OT, the right doctor, that they're going to fix us. They're going to find the issue. When we live with persistent pain, and I use that term frequently, persistent pain is anything that lasts longer than 3 months. Most of the time our tissues will heal within 3 months, but at around that longer 12-week, 16-week time frame, our nervous system has started to play a part in our experience. So when we're looking at persistent pain, I'm not looking at acute injuries like rolled ankles and I popped my shoulder or I lifted something and hurt my back. Short term, that could be a trigger to build into persistent pain. But what we're looking at is how persistent pain has now become that overprotective response. And as I mentioned, we're going to be doing this in small steps. It is work. If you're in and you're already watching this video, so there's a good chance that your mind is open enough to try something new. And to be honest, there is a lot of solid evidence-based research behind what we're going to do to help you build your path back to wellness. Because I know you want to get back to the things you enjoy. You want to get back to going to the activities, going to the gym maybe, even getting back to work, even just having that energy throughout your day to do the things that you need to do. So join me for this video series. We're going to take this into a little bit of breath work. So if you can, find yourself a comfortable place to sit or lay down, and we're going to move into a little bit of breath work while we reconsider our pain in our body. Just take a deep breath in, let it go. I don't mind right now if you're breathing through your nose, breathing through your mouth. You always have your breath. That's why we start with the breath. So take a couple of breaths and just feel how your inhale happens and your exhale happens. It doesn't need to be a super forced breath or deep breath. It's just breathing. And what I want you to notice now, if you can close your eyes, is just feel how your exhale can connect to your body, and you can feel how your body gets a little heavier. It's almost like it just softens into that sensation of gravity. You can sit leaning back in a chair. You can sit slouched, leaning forward on the desk. You can lay down. It doesn't matter how you're sitting right now. All I want you to be able to do is notice how your exhale connects to the body and gives you that sensation of softening. As we move through these 3 classes, these 3 little intro sessions, we're going to be talking a little bit more about what's happening with our breath. But for today, I want you to take about 5 or 6 breaths right now and just feel how each time you exhale, there's that feeling that the body is feeling grounded. There's flooring, a chair, something underneath you that you can feel is giving you support. Paying attention to that exhale gives you that softening. It allows you to notice throughout your entire body different sensations. But for right now, I just want you to notice that softening. And that softening may lead into stillness. It might lead into feeling sensations in the body. Just notice them. We're going to work a little bit more on that in the next video, but for right now, connecting to that exhale brings you this sensation of melting, feeling a little heavier. Now we also have our inhale. I want you to take your hands to your belly. And I want you to feel if you can find a belly breath. If you're living with pain, belly breathing isn't easy. Totally understand that. Part of that comes from that thought process that our core needs to be strong to help support us and stabilize us. We're going to talk about that as well. But for right now, I want you to find a belly breath. And it might be easier finding that if you're laying down. So if you want to take a moment now to lay down, you can. But we're just finding this belly breath and noticing how as we inhale, it's bringing in a little bit of lightness. It's bringing in a little bit of space into the body. That space might be in the rib cage. That space might even lead you to your collarbones, your shoulders. But I just want you to notice how your inhale helps bring in this sensation, this awareness that there's a little bit of space, there's a little bit of lightness. And just noticing your breath. Take about 5 more breaths. Just easy breaths, feeling how there's an exhale and there's an inhale. The exhale allows your body to feel grounded, to notice that foundation, to feel a little bit of softness. Your inhale brings in that sensation of allowing a little bit of lightness, a little bit of space. And then you're going to open your eyes. Give yourself a little wiggle, okay? I do a lot of wiggling. But that's the first part of paying attention to your breath. Now, your homework, if you'd like to progress into the next video, your homework is to do that breath practice one more time today. That means if you're laying in bed, bring that awareness to your breath. Notice your exhale first, and then pay attention to your inhale. Okay? That's it. It might be 30 seconds. It might be 2 minutes. But all I want you to do is at least one more time today, pay attention to your breath. That's all for today. I will see you in the next video.